difference between the intimacy coaching and relationship coaching is that intimacy coach, or they're actually really connected, but there is more difference in the idea that intimacy coaching is mainly more focused on the intimate part, so which is more connected to sexuality, of course. And relationship coach is not denying intimacy because that would be, I think, yeah, maybe not a good bet to just go into a relationship coach with by denying intimacy coaching, which some of us do, but that's not my approach. But it's mainly focused on issues that might be blocking the relationship for some reason. Maybe it's a lot. It's usually a lot of communication. Actually, it's end up a lot of communication, communication in between you both, but also communication towards yourself. Even if you're single, we constantly have relationships going on. You go on the street, you meet someone, you're building a relationship. It can be between friends, of man and man, and can also be between man and woman. So relationship coaching is not only and exclusively just for people who have a partner, which in a general rule, of course, usually it's the relationship that goes wrong, and then they go and they ask for that, which I strongly invite not to wait until things go wrong to go into relationship coaching, because then it's sort of somehow too late. You're somehow at the edge of the end, and then you try to rescue it, which, yeah, it can help, of course, it can help, and it actually usually helps a lot for the good or for the bad, in the sense of for the breakup or not. And if it's a breakup, it's a healthy breakup. But you don't need to just go into relationship coach just because you're in a bad situation. Like, I initiated myself in all this not because I had bad relationships. I just noticed that over time I wanted to improve the way how I was relating towards my partners. And I learned. And it was a journey of learning, the same way how my intimacy was. It was all a discovery path. So you receive a lot in the sense of how you become empowered somehow. You feel a certain power coming on you because you start acknowledging a lot of things like, oh, okay, this is the way how I communicate, this is the way how she feels, this is a way where I can be responsible, and this is where it limits. So this is my boundaries of where I am willing to go and where I'm not willing to go. Because if I step over them, then I will lose maybe my masculine, for example, because I'm focused more on the masculine aspect, or she might be crossing her boundaries. So even though she is not maybe aware of it, I can be aware and I can take responsibility for that, just to make sure that she is not crossing her boundaries, that she also is respecting in her dignity and integrity the same way you are. So it's all of this gameplay where we go into this sort of a state of flow. So if you're looking just for structure in the coaching and you just enjoy structure, it might not be your place. And I want to be transparent as it might not be your place. We use structure as a baseline. Like sometimes when the mind is really chaotic, we answer the mind by giving a certain structure. And that's how it functions very well. But when you only stay in structure and you only want to have everything set up into boxes, at some point you will face resistance and you will enter in troubles because the world of the emotions is not structured. And yes, the mind constantly tries to structure everything, and that's, I think, what they like to call emotional intelligence, where you want to structure things and you want to understand everything how it functions, which is great, which is something we definitely work on. But it's not the only thing. So if you're only looking for structure and you don't like the flow, this might not be the way how you want to be approached. And this is how we approach. We give a certain structure to give and calm down the mind. But then we enjoy going into flow. And the flow, it depends on the way how you're evolving. So the relationship is not just, you cannot predict it somehow. It's not like, yeah, when you do apply this A, then the outcome B will come. And then whenever B comes, then you apply C. And whenever C comes, then you apply D. And if you see it's not going well, go back 4 steps and start applying A. No, because it's still human beings. It just doesn't work. And it might work for a moment, but it's not working for all the time. And the amount of energy that you're requesting to constantly go there it's insane. Because imagine whenever you are in A and you want to apply A, but your partner is not willing because she is in something else, the amount of energy that you're going to try to focus on keeping her in A. No, we first have to talk about A. We first have to address A, and then perhaps we can go to B, which is a very common trait in the masculine. Is we first talk about this, then we go to this, then we go to this, and then we go to this. But the female doesn't work always like this. And especially if there are emotions involved. Emotions are connected, interconnected into different traumas and triggers and so on. And they're all connected. There is not a structure that you can follow. There is a system that you can understand, which is the one that we share and we explain. Like, this is how it functions. And it's really simple. Even though it looks really complicated, but once you have experienced some practice and you have done the right observations, you can see that there is a common structure in every human being. And that actually the mind is the one that is covering and making everything complicated and look complicated. But in reality, it's not that complicated. It's whenever you start feeling your emotions and the emotions of the others, you start understanding your emotions and start taking responsibility. And you know how to communicate it towards someone. Then you start knowing how to align with someone, and then you know how to connect with someone. And then it's the part of the intimacy coaching that comes in, and then we enjoy that part. So that's a little bit of sharing so that you have an idea that if it's worth it for you to go into relationship coaching or not. Yes. Well, look at then if you are willing to just have structure, then maybe this is not the case. But if you're willing to have structures and allow the flow to be there, the flow of emotions and feelings, then this is your place. So I'm definitely welcoming you. If you have any question, you can contact me. You can comment, you can give feedback, whatever might be in your mind, and we need to calm it down. Just feel free to share.